Roundtable. Joining me this week from Fox reality channel Solitary 2.0, it's executive producers Lincoln Hyatt and Andrew Golder.
That would be me.
Hello. And Season 1 winner, Stephen G. Unit. Welcome one and all. Stephen, welcome back to Reality Remix. Andrew, Lincoln, welcome to the other side of the camera. It's nice to have you here.
Pleasure.
Solitary is back, and I'm hoping it is better than ever. What did you learn from Season 1 that improved Season 2?
We learned from talking to the people who had been there, the Season 1 lab rats, that we could make it tougher. They all sort of felt like, in talking with them afterwards, we did our own roundtable, and they kind of all said, we expected to be pushed more. You could have pushed harder. You could have made it more difficult. So we've made it more difficult.
Now, you actually helped with some of the experiments for Season 2, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Were they tougher than your season?
Yes, definitely.
They tested all of the experiments and challenges on you. How did you get that honor?
I had the honor because I was the winner.
That's right.
And they figured, you know what, if they're going to bring in somebody, they got to bring in the best. So I got a chance to check out all the extreme tests and treatments, and I would say it's definitely Solitary on steroids.
Was it more extreme than your season?
I would say definitely so.
If you were injected into Season 2 of Solitary, would you win?
I think so. I think so. Right? I gotta go for it.
How does this show compare to another show of yours that was also in the Fox family, Unanimous?
The shows they both have this sort of bizarre environment. They both have a subterranean feel to them. But Unanimous was a social show. It was 9 people all working together with a common goal.
Yeah.
Solitary is 9 individuals operating completely independently. So, I mean, both were fascinating, but Solitary probably at this point is my favorite, albeit Season 2 show, so of course it's my favorite. I think Solitary lays people bare emotionally. I think Solitary, as created as artificial as the Solitary environment is, I think we get the truest expression of characters there. I think we see more about who a guy like Stephen G. is than you ever would in any other show on television.
Can you only see the truest aspect of human nature when someone is isolated?
I think we all need a dog to talk to, and in the case of Solitary, that dog to talk to is Val.
Is she ugly?
Or a mouse.
Well, they have a mouse to talk to for a little while.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a real, actual...
Yeah, so little mouse.
They had little friends. They needed companionship.
Yeah, the one thing I always think about when I think about Solitary is, you know, when you think about reality shows, they're pretty contrived per se. Throwing some people on an island, put them in a big house together.
How dare you.
But, you know, of all the quote-unquote contrived shows, putting a person in the pod is so unreal. But then I think when you're, you know, viewed 24/7, you're not dealing with anyone else but the computer voice Val, you know, there is some realism that comes that, you know, other shows don't have.
Were the contestants really different in the second season, knowing what they would be going up against?
Well, we asked ourselves the question, and Val asked the question, what kind of madness must a person have to go into Solitary 2.0 once they know what the first experience was all about?
Did you make it so much different for them that Season 2 hardly compares to Season 1?
No, I think it's comparable. I mean, it's ultimately sort of the same game, and definitely tougher. And I think, you know, part of the mindset, you know, part of the show is sort of scary and daunting, I think, but ultimately what should not go without saying is that it's sort of like jumping out of a plane, you know. It's scary, but there's something that's intriguing about it, and ultimately at the end when you get through it, I think the experience in Season 1 and in Season 2 for all the people was that they feel like they've done something and accomplished something and pushed themselves and tested their limits, and that's why they do it. It's not about, you know, being brutalized. It's really not, and always has never been for us, a torture show. It's about pushing yourself to your limits and proving that you can do stuff.
And what about you? Do you have advice for the new contestants, predictions for the type of person who will win?
Well, I would say the advice that I would give, and the thing that kept me going, and actually it'd be perfect time for me to actually give you something. I do have something for you. It's a original number 7 T-shirt.
Oh, look at that!
Look, there's me.
You're breakdancing.
Yes.
That is glorious. And some of my favorite colors, all in one shirt.
Well, my pod color, pink and purple.
Yeah.
And then here's my mantra, which kept me going. Don't give up, stay focused, be a good testimony, and have fun. And I think that's what got me through the game, just staying focused. Here, this is for you.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Look at that. That was gorgeous.
They have
I think mine would be a good deposition. Number 3.
So I would say definitely that is the mantra I use, and any contestant going in has to have their own motto, their own mantra. You know, just stay focused.
Steve, do you have any predictions for the winner based on what you've seen so far?
Well, having seen the footage for Road to Solitary 2, I mean, there's some great contestants on there. I would say, obviously, I'm rooting for number 7. Okay, I got to root for my own, right? But I would say definitely some people that stand out. There's another Steven on there. He was a survivor, I think, Katrina. And so that's a strong person who can deal with adversity.
He's been through it, relocated in Los Angeles.
There you go. Michelle is, I think similar to me in personality. I mean, marathon running. I just started taking up running because my wife started doing running, and I think there's a sense of endurance and going to the end. So I would say she'd probably definitely be a strong contestant. And the last one that I noted would be, definitely, I guess, that person Tyler.
Fascinating. We'll have to see how your predictions hold up. We'll be watching throughout the season. You can see Season 1 of Solitary all weekend, airing on Fox Reality Channel, followed by the Road to Solitary 2.0. Again, it's all weekend on Fox Reality Channel. The brand new season of Solitary starts next weekend. Thanks so much, Lincoln, Andrew, and Stephen. Very handsome gentlemen. As we go to commercial, check out our second nominee for our reality remix, Moment of Greatness. In this clip from Big Brother, Jamaica introduces us to her personal